Today on Good Morning Maine, Governor Mills is standing by her decision to block a number of bills from becoming law.
Plus, we'll ride along with the state police as troopers try to boost driver safety ahead of the busy summer season.
And it was a day full of smiles as some Special Olympians gathered in Hamden. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll have all the day's news coming up. But first, a check of the forecast. Yesterday turned out to be pretty nice around here. Some areas might have seen some passing showers and thunder showers, but boy, it warmed up nicely. Everybody was out wearing their shorts.
It was really warm.
Yeah.
It felt like summer almost.
I loved it. Today it looks like kind of a gray day ahead, although, you know, it doesn't look like a washout either.
Right.
Another chance of thunder showers.
Definitely starting that way at least.
Yeah.
Here's Devin Biggs with the forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center. We offer a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 cash drawing. Stop by with your returnables and enter for a chance to win. Alrighty, this morning we're watching for a little bit of fog that's developing in a few areas this morning. Looks like parts of Washington County dealing with a little bit of that this morning, especially up near the Caribou area, seeing some fog as well. So it's hit and miss this morning, so definitely be careful with the fog if you do venture out for work or school today. Meanwhile, though, here's the rain that's developing, especially across the northern parts of the state. They'll be dealing with that throughout the daytime period today. It's a little bit farther down to the south, but I do think most of us will stay on the drier side of things today, as most of this rain should stay rather down toward the south by the Boston area and maybe the southwestern parts of the state as well. Futurecast showing that rain in the northern parts of the state. Notice that other rain stays away from us. A little bit of development possible this afternoon before we start to lose some of the cloud cover coming up later on tonight and the parts of tomorrow as well. As for the winds, not too bad, roughly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour or so, although very light and variable, so not too much of a wind expected today, tonight, or even for tomorrow either. So for today, here we go, lower 70s, mostly cloudy, with a few thunderstorms across our northern counties, with a light and variable wind. Coming up for tonight, here we go, partly cloudy, lows in the lower 50s, areas of dense fog, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, showing a mostly cloudy sky, maybe a few showers of storms, especially across our northern counties. Temperatures in the 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you, Devin. Well, fire crews had their hands full with a stubborn fire Wednesday in Winslow. Several fire departments responded to a commercial building after receiving reports of a working fire. The Winslow Fire Department responded just after 10 a.m. at the Kennebec River Park development. Upon arrival, no flames were visible, but heavy smoke was coming from a warehouse. According to Winslow's fire chief, Michael Murphy, the commercial space is owned by Martin's. However, the building impacted is being leased by the Hutamaki Food Packaging Company. According to the fire chief, the building was filled with stacks of shredded paper that were burning, making it difficult to isolate the source of that fire.
So they are 3,000-pound bales, and they were stacked about 7 high. And once they get wet, they get weak and they fall over. So we did a tactical withdrawal because we had bales that were dropping, 7 feet high down, and the fire was contained to the building of origin, and we weren't going to risk firefighters' life over paper.
Chief Murphy says only one person was inside the warehouse at the time of the fire, and they did not sustain any injuries. The fire was isolated to that one building, and the rest of the commercial space remained operational throughout the day. The extent of the damage to the interior is unclear at this time.
The state fire marshal was in the hot seat on Wednesday, answering questions from the Government Oversight Committee following a negative report about conditions within the department. That report came from the state watchdog agency OPEGA, which surveyed employees of the fire marshal's office and found a number of complaints regarding a toxic work environment and lack of response to employee concerns. State Fire Marshal Richard McCarthy, who took on the role in March of last year, told the committee they're already working on improving morale.
We are continually working on improving our current work culture. This is an ongoing process that will take some time for us to complete and accomplish. We're fully committed to seeing this through with the support of the commissioner, a great staff who are committed to change.
McCarthy adds, by addressing all of the problems listed in OPEGA's report, the workplace culture and environment will improve.
Governor Mills is defending her position to not allow any of the 35 bills passed on veto day by the legislature to become law. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bichard spoke with the governor to learn more.
It is unprecedented for the legislature to have taken up that much business on veto day.
On Friday, the legislature returned for veto day, a one-day extension to their legislative session to address any bills vetoed by the governor. Aside from handling the vetoes, they also passed a number of bills aimed at spending unallocated funds in the budget. Governor Mills says it's unprecedented for the legislature to have passed additional bills on veto day, which is why she decided not to sign any of the bills, effectively vetoing them.
35 bills ended up on my desk of a variety of sorts, and there's a lot of merit to many of them.
One of those bills would have created a standard of tracking rape kits in police departments across the state. Governor Mills says it's within the powers of the executive branch to do that without passing legislation.
I feel strongly that we have to respect the rights of survivors of sexual assault. I always have taken that position. And that's why my Department of Public Safety is working on making sure all police departments are tracking sexual assault kits, so-called rape kits, making sure we're not losing anything in the process, making sure that all offenders are brought to justice.
Governor Mills adds her main reason for not signing the bills into law is because those bills were likely to face significant legal challenges.
In my opinion, the bills that were passed, if they were allowed to become law, would have been subject to serious legal question. We'd be held up in the courts for some time, and in my view, they didn't have sufficient legal merit to be enacted and consume that kind of time and energy.
Governor Mills encourages lawmakers instead to reflect on what they did accomplish over the 2 years of the 131st legislature.
Think about what we did get done this session. I mean, there were almost 2,300 bills filed. Nearly 1,000 of them came to my desk, and I read them. Between 700 and 800 of them I signed into law.
Governor Mills says the sponsors of those last-minute bills should resubmit any of the bills not signed when the 132nd legislature convenes in December. At the State House, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
A happy ending in the search for a missing woman from Sullivan. The Hancock County Sheriff's Department reports that Suzanne Mingle has been located. She was reported missing on Tuesday and was wearing pajamas when she vanished. The Warden Service, Sullivan firefighters, and others all joined in the search. No word, though, on where Mingle was finally located.
Well, roughly 7 weeks after a fatal shooting incident, Brewer's public safety director has returned to duty. Brewer police responded to a report of a robbery at the Brewer Walmart back in March. Chief Jason Moffitt responded to the area and confronted 39-year-old Barry Chick on the Greenpoint Road. Officials say Chick refused to comply with commands and was shot when he appeared to be reaching for a weapon. Chief Moffitt was then placed on administrative leave, which is standard protocol, and multiple investigations into the incident were conducted. An internal review found that Moffitt followed proper procedures and was cleared to return to duty. The Attorney General's office is also investigating and is expected to release its findings in the near future.
It's been a deadly year on Maine's roads, and as we enter the season of summer tourism, the Maine Bureau of Highway Safety is urging motorists to drive safely. Our David Ledford has more.
The number of traffic deaths in Maine is up this year.
On average, speeds are higher, seatbelts are an issue.
And as warmer temperatures bring more drivers to the state, officials are hoping to keep that number from rising.
According to the Maine Bureau of Highway Safety, there have already been 49 reported traffic fatalities this year. That's an increase from the 29 previously reported at this same time last year.
The Bureau's director says this continues an up and down trend in traffic deaths seen over the last few years. She says that years with fewer than 30 deaths by early May have been followed by years with more than 40 by the same time.
Part of it is what we call the 100 deadliest days of summer, which starts on Memorial Day and runs through Labor Day. And some of that has to do with the tourists that come during that period of time, but it also has to do with just more people in general being on the road. And so if the weather's not great, fewer people are coming into the state.
According to the Bureau, teen drivers accounted for 9% of last year's fatal crashes. And pedestrians, motorcyclists, and bicyclists are the most vulnerable on the road.
It's not just numbers that we're talking about, it's real people.
I've been to some pretty bad crashes. Get that pit in your stomach, because you don't know who that person is, if they have kids, if they have a wife, if they're a grandfather, or if it's, if it's a kid that's deceased. Buckle up, put the cell phones away, don't drive impaired, and you should have a safe drive.
In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Some very good advice there. I love the photography on that too.
Yeah. David Ledford's a good photographer.
He sure is.
Yeah, he makes it cool.
Yeah.
All right, the time now is 6:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, there are new rules in place for people who want to operate short-term rentals in Brewer. We'll have the details.
But first, another check of that forecast. It looks like a cloudy day ahead today with a chance of passing thunderstorms. The highs around 72 degrees. Partly cloudy with areas of dense fog overnight. Lows dropping down to the low 50s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, but we'll see some sun too. Also a chance of rain on Friday with highs near 75. We'll be right back.
Commercial vehicles can be dangerous, and they usually carry big insurance policies. So whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or a big rig like this, we know commercial vehicle accidents, and we know how to get you the big money you may deserve. If any commercial vehicle hurts you, call the twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the twos. We win for you. Call 222-2222.
Transform your surroundings with Paramount Paving, located in Bangor. They are your paving and seal coating experts. Whether it's residential maintenance to full commercial projects, Paramount Paving delivers quality that lasts. Book before June 1st and enjoy a $250 Visa gift card upon completion of your next paving project. Call us today at 602-8931 or visit us at ParamountPavingLLC.com. Paramount Paving, setting the standard for excellence. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
What's the least sexy thing your wife has ever worn in the bedroom?
Granny panties, Steve.
Don't miss Family Feud. Weekdays at 9 on ABC 7.
Well, of course you're doing well. You're here on Wheel of Fortune.
Let's go win some money.
These contestants are going places. Scandinavia. They're moving and shaking and getting it done here on Wheel. You can try to make it look a little harder.
Weekdays at 7 on ABC 7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Right now, some Mainers in their 50s, 60s, or even older are living in tents. They simply can't afford a home. And many say it starts with their medical bills that continue to pile up. Asia Reed looks at a newer program down in southern Maine that's helping to keep an aging population in their homes.
One of the fastest growing unhoused populations is older Mainers. That's why one group is aiming to connect aging folks with the resources they need.
I've seen a lot of people, a lot of older people that are barely making it.
Sue is an unhoused Biddeford woman in her 60s. She didn't want her face on camera, but says she and some of her friends' health issues became overwhelming and left them unhoused.
My friend down there is recovering from cancer.
This is just what the CEO of Southern Maine Agency on Aging says they're trying to prevent. That's why they launched the Elder Homelessness Prevention Program to connect Mainers over 60 in York and Cumberland County with caseworkers, first helping them with basic needs that often pile up and put folks behind.
If you are over the age of 60, if you're living on a fixed income, if you have a lot to navigate in terms of your own health care benefits, it's just necessary to have someone else on your side.
But they're not just helping with basic needs. In just the last 6 months, they've had more than 300 calls related to housing.
People were concerned that they were going to be evicted or lose housing within days or weeks.
These caseworkers are working around the clock to find anything available and looking for Mainers that have spare rooms in their houses for older folks to rent.
A new location where they can be safe, secure, and stay for a long time.
In Washington yesterday, Senator Angus King highlighted the need for better access to the Katahdin Woods and Waters National Monument. The Senate National Parks Subcommittee led a hearing with the National Park Service to discuss some of the challenges and opportunities facing America's favorite public recreation areas. Senator King recently reintroduced legislation that would authorize additional access points to Katahdin Woods and Waters National Monument by giving the Park Service permission to require land from willing donors or sellers. It would use the land to better connect the monument to the Millinocket region and major roadways, boosting the appeal of the park and economic activity in the region.
One of the issues that we want to pay special attention to in this is that this is a logging area. Yes. And it will remain so. And we want to be sure that the access is safe. And I hope that you can continue to work with the commercial logging community to ensure that there will not be an impedance of their work, but also that visitors can access the monument safely.
King says the bill expressly forbids the use of eminent domain to acquire the land. He says the land will be used to build a road and will not extend the size of the monument.
The city of Brewer is adding some new rules for short-term rentals. Brewer now joins a long list of Maine cities adding regulations on short-term rentals like Airbnbs and vacation properties. Operators of these rentals must now obtain a license and keep track of a tenant's length of stay. Brewer's mayor says the regulations are intended to enforce checks and balances, such as working smoke detectors, in order to promote the safety of the tenants. She says these new rules will treat Airbnbs more like commercial businesses.
So our goal or intention is to align this in such a fashion that it's not prohibiting people from doing it, but we're making sure that there's a checklist and that there's checks and balances to make sure that there's some safety issues that could be addressed.
The rules were unanimously agreed upon by Brewer's city councilors.
Makes sense. There's a housing crisis right now, and there's contention around Airbnbs instead of rental properties. And
people are turning anything into like an Airbnb these days, too. This will give them some regulations.
Yep. All right, the time now is 6:17. After the break, there were smiles all around yesterday in Hamden as competitors traveled from around the state to compete in the Special Olympics.
We'll have that story and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Your local professional eco-friendly office space partner is WVII Business Solutions, your one-stop shop to get the job done. Handling all your office furniture and printing machine needs at an affordable price. Offering full system integration into your workplace and local service on everything we sell. We can even remote monitor your system with just-in-time inventory and service need assessments. Little to no downtime gives you peace of mind. At WVII Business Solutions, your solution is only an email or a phone call away.
Bad boy mowers aren't built for everyone. They're built for the bold, the originals, people who get the job done and love every second of it. Bad boys are built for horsepower and cutting-edge precision with a first-of-its-kind 3-link suspension and a style all their own. Because you're not everyone, and that's a good thing. Bad boy, mow with an attitude.
The furniture revolution continues at Dorsey's, and today it's all about sectional sofas. Big sectionals, little sectionals, reclining sectionals, sectionals with hide beds, chaise lounges, even cuddlers. Heck, we even have sectionals with dog beds. When qualified buyers combine our great sectionals with 24-month 0% financing, they're easy to own too. The sectional revolution is in full bloom at Dorsey's, so what are you waiting for? Be comfortable, my friends.
Hamden Academy hosted the 2024 Maine Special Olympics for Piscataquis, Penobscot, and Hancock counties.
Our Callie Warren has more.
Go athletes! Woo! Competitors traveled to Hamden for some friendly competition.
Because I have to run like the wind. Because I have to win like the... I'm going to run like Speedy.
And hundreds of families, friends, and volunteers came out to cheer on competitors in the 2024 Piscataquis, Hancock, and Penobscot County Special Olympics. Athletes say the events aren't about winning. Instead, there's an emphasis on having fun.
Because I love it, and I'm glad I came here.
I've been doing Special Olympics for 20 years. My favorite part of the event is doing my best and doing everything I can to make sure my dreams are fulfilled.
Organizers say the games are accessible for athletes of every ability and skill level to ensure that all participants are able to enjoy the event.
We have everything from a 10-meter walk to a mile run,
and softball throw to shot put, enough for everyone to be included, and that's what it is about, inclusivity.
So it just makes my heart happy to be able to see the community being so inclusive and welcoming of this event.
The sun is shining on us, the athletes are smiling, the energy is palpable.
To cheer on their fellow athletes, some offered these words.
Do your best, and that's all you can do. Just want to tell everybody to do a good job today.
Have fun. If I don't win, that's okay. Just have fun.
In Hamden, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Everybody looks really happy.
Yeah, one of my favorite events. You nailed it on the head. Wherever you go there, people are just smiling.
Yeah.
They're glad to be out there.
Yeah, they had a great day
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, glad to see it. All right, the time now is 6:21.
Let's get a full look at our weather forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center. We offer a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 cash drawing. Stop by with your returnables and enter for a chance to win. Alrighty, here we go. Wayfinds very quiet out there this morning at around 1 to 2 feet according to the buoys. No advisories in effect along the coastline or on land for that matter either. Just seeing a little bit of dense fog developing near the Caribou area and possibly in Washington County again this morning. Very hit and miss with regards to the fog, so if you encountered some this morning, just make sure your low beam lights or your fog lights are turned on so people can see you. Otherwise, though, we have rain across the northern parts of the state this morning. No lightning with this. The lightning tracker is on, but we are seeing just a few rain showers this morning. Otherwise, near Bangor, it's looking rather dry. We will be staying dry today along and south of Bangor with most of the rain and even a few rumbles of thunder across the northern parts of the state. What's developing right about in here right now, not too far away from Boston or New York, will stay to the south, and if anything, start to fizzle out as the day progresses on. So Futurecast moving forward, showing a little bit of rain across the northern parts of the state today with a little bit more development taking place during the afternoon period. Coming up later on tonight, we will be under a partly cloudy sky, maybe areas of dense fog on the way as we head towards Friday morning. Then a small chance for a shower to develop during the afternoon period, especially across our northern counties yet again. Once we head towards Friday night, that tapers off. Possibly some clouds or fog on the way again as we head towards early Saturday morning. I'm going to run this over the next few days, though, showing the potential for precipitation basically between now and Sunday evening. So not a whole lot of rain on the way, maybe up to 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of rain overall. And it looks to be about it there. Maybe a little bit of wind on the way in a few spots today, maybe a quick gust up to 10 to 15 miles per hour today, but otherwise the winds do not look to be a big deal at all today, tonight, or for tomorrow either, looking rather quiet at best. Maybe a quick gust up to 15 to 20 miles per hour late, and it looks to be about it for your Friday. Average high temperature is 66 degrees, lower 70s today, middle 70s for your Friday. We're back in the lower 70s Saturday into Sunday, middle 70s Monday, and upper 70s. That'll feel warm Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. For today, here we go. A few thunderstorms across our northern counties, otherwise mostly cloudy with highs in the lower 70s with a light and variable wind. Coming up for tonight, partly cloudy, areas of dense fog, lows in the lower 50s with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a slight chance for a few rain showers, highs in the mid-70s with that southeast wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. All right, let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center. Mostly cloudy on Saturday with highs in the low 70s. Mostly cloudy again for a Sunday with highs also in the low 70s. Partly cloudy Monday with highs in the mid-70s.
You've always known what you wanted, no matter how far down the road it looked. We're here to help you get there. Brewer Federal Credit Union. BrewerFCU.org.
Jamar Construction Products in Bangor continues to grow to meet our customers' needs, supplying products for site work contractors, concrete contractors, and survey and safety supplies. We are proud to be the local dealer for Hilti, Valley Blades, U.S. Fabrics, and Euclid Chemical, plus so much more. Stop by and see us at 1270 Hammond Street or give us a call at 907-4491. If you dig it, pour it, plow it, fasten it, lay it, or lift it, Jamar Construction Products can help you.
Mesothelioma is more than a ravaging illness. It is a disease that can ruin a family's finances and is never the victim's fault. The law offices of Joe Bornstein has been fighting and winning for Maine families for nearly 50 years, and we've collected over $500 million for injured Mainers. If you or a loved one is a victim of mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, call Joe today for a free case evaluation and to learn about your family's legal rights. Dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
Are your gutters weighed down by debris causing them to sag and overflow? I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems. Clogged gutters lead to costly repairs for your home, so skip the cleaning and stop the clogs with Gutter Shutter. Gutter Shutter, the world's best gutter, is a high-performance gutter with a lifetime no-clog guarantee. Stop the clutter, get Gutter Shutter. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
You've lived quite a life. Now, it's time to live it up. We're here to help you enjoy all you've earned. Brewer Federal Credit Union. BrewerFCU.org.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Welcome back, everyone. A suspect is in custody for the shooting of the Slovak Prime Minister, Robert Fico. Local media reporting the incident took place in Handlova on Wednesday, where Fico came to meet supporters. The pro-Russian leader was shot 5 times, and he was hit in the stomach. He was transported by helicopter to the hospital for treatment. Slovakia's deputy prime minister says Fico is in very serious but stable condition. The deputy prime minister describes the assassination attempt as politically motivated. Fico is considered a controversial figure for halting arms to Ukraine, and Western Europeans worry he will reverse course of support for Ukraine's fight against Russia.
Russian President Vladimir Putin is visiting China's President Xi in a show of mutual support. The meeting comes as Russian troops move further in Ukraine. Western sanctions over Russia's invasion of Ukraine have driven the two countries closer together. To get around sanctions, Russia has shifted most of its energy exports to China, and Beijing has been supplying Moscow with technology, electronics, and machine tools, which is seen as assisting its war efforts. Over the past week, Russia has made its largest advance into Ukraine since the start of its invasion, displacing about 8,000 people from the Kharkiv region. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Antony Blinken was in Ukraine to show support and assure the country that billions of dollars in military aid is on the way.
Well, pressure is mounting for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to outline his post-war vision for Gaza. Allies and supporters at home are demanding he reveal his plans for the war-torn territory before the end of his military operation. Fox News senior national correspondent Kevin Cork has that story.
A race to find survivors in a refugee camp near Gaza City after Israeli airstrikes decimated a residential building. Fierce fighting also seen in eastern Rafah. The IDF has been targeting both areas in an effort to stop Hamas from regrouping along Gaza's northern and southern borders.
All of Gaza has become one class. Israel has taken us back 100 years.
But the operation is facing heavy criticism. Fighting has left nearby border crossings closed or inaccessible, further diminishing food and medical supplies to the region. On Wednesday, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu defended his actions.
So far in Rafah, close to 500,000 people have been evacuated from the combat zones. The humanitarian catastrophe they talked about has not materialized, nor will it materialize.
Netanyahu also fending off critics at home and abroad, who say he has yet to outline his vision for a post-war Gaza.
I call on the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to make a decision and declare that Israel will not rule over civilian affairs in Gaza.
Netanyahu says it's impossible to lay out a plan until Hamas is defeated. Meanwhile, here at home, the Biden administration announced plans to send a $1 billion shipment in new weapons and ammunition to Israel. It comes after shipments were paused earlier this month over concerns about a Rafah invasion. If allowed to go forward, weapons would be transferred in the next 2 to 3 years. In Washington, Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Palestinians gather in Ramallah, commemorating the day of their mass expulsion from what is now Israel. The day is called Nakba, which is Arabic for catastrophe. Some 700,000 Palestinians fled or were driven from their homes before and during the 1948 Arab-Israeli War that followed Israel's establishment. More than twice that number have been displaced since the October 7th attacks. UN agencies report more than a quarter of Gaza's population has been displaced in the last week alone due to Israeli forces pushing into Rafah. A priest in Ramallah says the events in Gaza yesterday are evidence that Nakba is ongoing. As Gaza's health ministry says, over 35,000 Palestinians have been killed since October 7th, and the UN says northern Gaza is in a full-blown famine.
President Biden and former President Trump have agreed to debate. There will be 2 debates. The first is a little more than a month away, the earliest ever for a general election. ABC's Perry Russum is in Washington with that story. All right, we'll just continue reading. It's seen as a campaign surprise that both men have agreed to debate. President Biden accepted Trump's challenge, saying, "Make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice." And Trump firing back with, "Let's get ready to rumble." The first debate is weeks away on June 27th. That will take place on CNN. And the second, less than 2 months before Election Day on September 10th. The first debate will be before either man is named the official nominee for their parties, the earliest in U.S. history. Both will be one-on-one and no live audience in attendance. Let's get ready to rumble, he says.
All right, coming up on the second half of the newscast, the Maine Forest and Logging Museum will host their annual Alewife Day this weekend.
We'll hear all about it, plus that full weather forecast coming up after the break.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
This morning, Olivia Munn, her battle with breast cancer, her decision to undergo a hysterectomy, her health right now, her recovery, and the impact on her family. Now, Olivia Munn with Michael Strahan, the emotional exclusive. This morning on GMA.
A new deck is a great, affordable way to improve your home or camp. Hammond Lumber Company can help you create the perfect deck for your outdoor space. Visit Hammond's product showroom and explore their extensive range of decking and railing options. Your Hammond sales rep will be happy to help you with your materials and design choices, and Hammond delivers from any of their 22 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Make this the year you enjoy that new deck you've always wanted. It starts when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
It's the Ford SUV season sales event, and time for great offers across the entire lineup of Ford SUVs, including the Build Wild Ford Bronco and Bronco Sport. Ready to take your adventure to a whole new level. Check out the exciting Bronco lineup today. This is Ford SUV season. Let's get going.
Now lease a Ford Bronco Sport for $329 a month for 24 months. In stock, only at your New England Ford dealer.
NexGard Plus helps you protect your dog from fleas, ticks, heartworm disease, and more. All in one delicious monthly soft chew. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. NexGard Plus, the one you want for one and done protection.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Thursday, May 16th, 2024. It is also National Endangered Species Day.
This is a day to consider the dwindling populations of certain animals and to work together to help. The environmental conservation movement didn't gain traction until the mid-1800s, and scores of animal species have vanished since that time. Development by humans, climate change, and other factors have all led to their decline. America's Endangered Species Act of 1973 was created to help reverse the trend by providing a framework for protection, but many species of animals remain threatened today.
The eagles are one of the success stories. They were really dwindling back then, but now you look around Maine and you see them all over the place. So it looks like some of these things are working, but we apparently still have a long way to go too. We still cutting down forests, that kind of thing. And,
right.
You know.
And it's not necessarily ones we might see in our backyard.
Right.
It's kind of more at an international scale,
Yeah.
but still, there's always work that can be done.
And every animal has their role in the ecosystem too.
Yep.
One vanishes, it will certainly have an effect on others as well.
Butterflies and bees. It's still no mow May, or if you want to like create a wildflower garden, I know that's really good for our pollinators, because if our pollinators, they dwindle, we don't have anything.
I know my brother's letting his lawn go this month too.
Good for him.
It's a good excuse to let it go
The
too.
dandelions are a really good first source of food for them, and then you get a chance to be a little lazy.
Yeah, I think they're pretty myself. But
I do
anyway.
too. I agree.
All right, time for some history. On this day in history, back in 1866, the U.S. Congress approved the 5-cent nickel for the first time. We've had the nickel ever since.
And it's the most useless one, I feel.
I know, right? Pennies are kind of going that way too.
But pennies, you can get an exact cent.
Yeah.
A nickel is like
Yeah, I know. All right, in 1929, the first Oscar Awards were held to recognize greatness on the silver screen. They were held for the first time at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel in Los Angeles. In 1943, the nearly month-long Warsaw Ghetto Uprising came to an end as German forces crushed the Jewish resistance. And on a brighter note, in 1965, SpaghettiOs were sold for the very first time. By the way, SpaghettiOs and Merlot, they go great together, in case you're ever wondering.
Really?
Yeah.
I was wondering about that pairing.
You can
What will go with my Merlot?
A little Merlot and maybe some nice garlic bread. Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you gotta heat it up. I did it one time and it's like, hey, let's make this fancy. And it was a wonderful meal.
It's okay.
So, haven't had SpaghettiOs since, but.
Or Merlot?
I don't drink Merlot anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
I like Merlot though.
Yeah. In 1985, scientists mentioned for the first time the presence of a hole in the ozone layer over the South Pole. In 1986, the movie Top Gun, starring Tom Cruise, was released to the public and quickly became a hit. Very controversial opinion of mine. Don't like it.
You don't like it? Yeah.
No, don't like it. And I was annoyed at people talking about the second one, too.
I like the first one a lot.
I'm a hater.
It was huge back then. I like the soundtrack especially.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
great music,
loved
so.
en masse.
Yeah.
I'm the odd one out.
Yeah. Well, it's not really your genre anyway.
No,
right.
no.
Yeah.
In 1988, the U.S. Surgeon General announced that nicotine was as addictive as heroin or cocaine and called for the licensing of tobacco product vendors. In 1991, Queen Elizabeth became the first British monarch to address a joint session of the U.S. Congress. And in 2022, the U.S. death toll from COVID-19 hit 1 million people.
I think we forget sometimes how devastating that was just a couple of years ago, too.
Yeah, majorly traumatic for a lot of folks.
All right, for birthdays today, we have actress Megan Fox, who is 38 years old today. Actor Pierce Brosnan is 71. And musician Janet Jackson. We haven't heard from her lately.
Yeah.
She's 58 years old today.
A lot of big names today.
Yeah.
Very
birthday to them.
Yeah. All right, moving right along. It's kind of starting off a bit cloudy, and that's going to be the trend of the day, it seems.
Yeah.
Yep. Here's Devin Biggs with that forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center. We offer a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 cash drawing. Stop by with your returnables and enter for a chance to win. Alrighty, this morning we're watching for a little bit of fog that's developing in a few areas this morning. Looks like parts of Washington County dealing with a little bit of that this morning, especially up near the Caribou area, seeing some fog as well. So it's hit and miss this morning, so definitely be careful with the fog if you do venture out for work or school today. Meanwhile, though, here's the rain that's developing, especially across the northern parts of the state. They'll be dealing with that throughout the daytime period today. It's a little bit farther down to the south, but I do think most of us will stay on the drier side of things today, as most of this rain should stay rather down toward the south by the Boston area and maybe the southwestern parts of the state as well. Futurecast showing that rain in the northern parts of the state. Notice that other rain stays away from us. A little bit of development possible this afternoon before we start to lose some of the cloud cover coming up later on tonight and the parts of tomorrow as well. As for the winds, not too bad, roughly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour or so, although very light and variable, so not too much of a wind expected today, tonight, or even for tomorrow either. So for today, here we go, lower 70s, mostly cloudy, with a few thunderstorms across our northern counties, with a light and variable wind. Coming up for tonight, here we go, partly cloudy, lows in the lower 50s, areas of dense fog, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, showing a mostly cloudy sky, maybe a few showers of storms, especially across our northern counties. Temperatures in the 70s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
Thank you, Devin. Well, the Maine Forest and Logging Museum is preparing for its Alewife Day this weekend. The event starts with the Alewife Run, 5K at 9 a.m., and a variety of other family-friendly programs throughout the day, including NOAA marine biologists, forest warden guided walks, blacksmithing demonstrations, and smoked alewives. Museum officials say it's a great way to get the whole family to learn more about the alewives and the local environment as a whole.
They're very important for the lobster industry. They're an important source of bait. They're important for the early settlers, for the indigenous folks that were here before the Europeans settled. An extremely important part of the whole ecosystem.
You can visit the museum's website at mainforestandloggingmuseum.org for more information. And of course, what we're looking at right now, those are the fish ladders that the alewives are able to travel up. And that's kind of a big deal as far as the Maine Forest and Logging Museum goes. That was a big construction project for them because they're also on the mouth of a major lake and river.
So beautiful place too. If you haven't been there, go give it a try
love
sometime.
It there.
Yeah.
I love it there.
Yep.
All right, still to come here this morning, Ryan Sudol has our sports updates.
Don't go away.
When you say let's go to breakfast, you mean let's go to McDonald's. Obviously.
Get 2 sausage McMuffin with egg or bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits for $4.50.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At AAA, saving money means as much to us as it does to our members. Nikki saved her family over $450 by switching to AAA auto insurance. Marianne switched and saved $350. And Philip saved over $400. Now is a great time to review your auto insurance policy. AAA is here to help you with your auto, home, and life insurance needs. Call 844-AAA Insurance or visit AAA.com for an auto insurance quote today. AAA, we're always with you.
As winter fades and the weather warms, you might not be ready to think about air conditioning, but Valley Home Services is ready because now is the perfect time to beat the heat. Fujitsu heat pumps from Valley Home Services are not only great sources for heat in the colder months, they're also fantastic air conditioners for the hotter months. And right now is the best time to install a Fujitsu heat pump so you can take advantage of the efficiency for what heating is left and get a jump on the cooling for the summer. Embrace the comfort with Fujitsu and Valley Home Services.
If you have to ask why it's important to start your day early, here's your answer.
Kick your morning routine into high gear with any sized iced coffee for just $1.99.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
There's a Shoremaster or Polydock system that's right for you, and you'll find it at Hammond Lumber Company.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start at the Garden with the Boston Celtics. The C's facing Cleveland in Game 5 of the conference semis Wednesday. A win puts them in the conference finals for the 3rd straight year. Jason Tatum looking to build off his Game 4 performance as the Cavs' Donovan Mitchell stays out with a calf strain. Second quarter, under 20 to go. Tatum steps back and drills the 3 right in Darius Garland's grill. He wants a foul, and that gesture there gets him teed up. Whatever. Celtics up 6 at the half. Early 4th quarter. Cavs hanging tough. Marcus Morris grabs the loose ball and drills the corner 3 to cut the lead to 3. But the Celtics go on a run, up 12 with under a minute to go. Al Horford from Drew Holiday for the straight-on 3. It goes. The Celtics win it 113-98 to advance to the conference finals. All right, now let's stay in the Garden and shift to the Boston Bruins. A big 2-1 win against the Panthers Tuesday night with their backs against the wall. They're heading back to Boston for Game 6, and it was another incredible performance for former Maine hockey goalie Jeremy Swayman. Swayman saw 28 shots on goal and stopped 27 of them. Another great showing in the playoffs for the former Black Bear. Despite a few losses, Swayman seems to be at an even keel at all times. He has the highest save percentage this postseason of all goalies with at least 4 starts at .933. And in his post-game comments, he credited Maine hockey assistant coach Alfie Michaud and the late Red Gendron for his success.
A lot of great mentors, my dad being one of them, Alfie Michaud being one of them, countless coaches, Greg Vanover, Red Gendron, and I just can't thank my mentors enough for showing me the way and replacing that word nervous with excited and just being me and embracing moments, and that's when I find the most enjoyment.
All right, now let's shift to the Diamond. Maine baseball begins a huge 3-game series Thursday against Albany to wrap up the season, and it will be the last time suiting up in Orono for a few decorated Black Bears. Tyler Cruz has more.
We win here, and we're not going to be the guys that didn't win.
This weekend, Maine baseball plays their final home games of 2024
with still a lot on the line.
Every game at this point is playoff baseball, and we're just going one game at a time. Obviously, we know the situation.
Win 2, and Maine clinches the final spot in the America East playoffs.
I got faith in the guys. I know we can do it.
But regardless of the result, several Black Bears will suit up for the final time at Mahaney Diamond.
Try not to think about it. I probably have a pretty good idea of what the future's looking like, but as of right now, it's still May. I'm still wearing a Maine uniform, so just worrying about the playoffs and this weekend coming up.
I really try not to think about it much, just because when you think about the end, you kind of take away from what's in front of you. And being here every day, I've wanted to be present in the moment.
Connor Goodman has spent 5 years in Orono, and his impact has been felt on the field, but maybe even more so off of it.
He brought something here that is really, we were missing. Off the field, excellence, with on the field excellence, and we have it, and we have a lot of guys doing it, and he's shown what it's like to be a real Black Bear. I was just a kid from Miami who didn't know if I even had a career in college baseball, and Coach Durba took a chance on me, and it's been the greatest honor to be here.
And then there's Jeremiah Jenkins. While undecided right now, signs point to him hearing his name called in this year's MLB draft.
Knowing this is probably my last year here, I just got to take everything, in stride. I'm happy to be here. It's exciting. And if it is, so unquote, my last year here, I want to go out with a win,
Well-deserved, too. Jenkins making history this season as the only player in America East history with back-to-back 20 home run years.
Well, aside from him being the best player that the America East has seen possibly in ever, right? I mean, I don't know if that's a crazy statement to say. He's just a really good person. For me, that's the mark of really what we're about.
But while the end may be near, these guys have a full plate in front of them, and they're focused on only one thing.
I never want to say it's over, so hopefully we keep going and we keep winning, and we'll see you in the tournament, see you in a regional super, whatever's next.
From Orono, I'm Tyler Cruz, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
Thank you very much, Tyler. Now to some football news. We're a few months away from kickoff, but on Wednesday night, the NFL revealing its 2024 schedule, and here are the 17 games the Patriots will play. They open the season against the Bengals September 8th, home opener next against the Seahawks. Next, the Jets on Thursday Night Football, then the defending NFC champs San Francisco, followed by the Dolphins at home. Week 7, they head to London for a 9:30 a.m. matchup against the Jaguars, home game against the Jets the following Sunday. Week 12, their road game against Miami, and then to wrap up the season at the Bills, and then 2 home games against the Chargers and the Bills again. And now finally to the baseball diamond. Again, big matchup in Newport Wednesday with Belfast visiting Nokomis. Both squads fighting for the final playoff spots in B North here. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning. Warriors up 2-0. Nokomis is Owen Buck. Skies 1 to center. Ethan Abbott there for the out. Seth Bowden tagging, and Abbott's throw to Tucker Martin is in time to prevent the run and end the inning. Bottom 3, same score. Owen Menard, a fly ball into right center. That's going to get down. Coming all the way from first is Jacob Newmeyer to score, and it's 3-0 Warriors. Top 6, it's 4-0. Belfast's Ethan Viu, a base hit into left field. It gets past Owen's sides. Luke Littlefield scores to put the Lions on the board 4-1. They stage a late comeback here and end up winning it 8-6. Okay, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Colburn Shoe Store, proudly doing business in downtown Belfast since 1832. We stock quality brands such as Hoka, Brooks, Dansko, Skechers, Birkenstock, and many more. Let us pair your feet with the perfect footwear. Colburn Shoe Store, 79 Main Street, Belfast.
Hank's Husqvarna is your trusted full-line Husqvarna dealer, offering you everything you need for your outdoor projects. From high-performance lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers to chainsaws, trimmers, battery-powered and powerful snowblowers, we have just what you need. Every piece of equipment is fully set up, serviced, and ready for use by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or new equipment sales, make your way to Hank's Husqvarna in Carmel or Newport.
What do heavy rain, extreme heat, and flying lumber all have in common? They're just a few of the things we use to test our replacement windows. At Renewal by Andersen, we put our windows through the worst because your home deserves the best. Renewal by Andersen Acclaim Custom Replacement Windows. Call or visit us online today to get some incredible savings. Affordable financing, too.
Colburn Shoe Store, proudly doing business in downtown Belfast since 1832. We stock quality brands such as Hoka, Brooks, Dansko, Skechers, Birkenstock, and many more. Let us pair your feet with the perfect footwear. Colburn Shoe Store, 79 Main Street, Belfast.
Welcome back, everyone. A portal connecting New York City to Dublin has been temporarily shut down. It was powered down Tuesday following a string of unsavory behaviors. Now organizers are working to find a possible technical solution for the inappropriate behavior. The art installation let people in each city peer into life across the pond via a live stream on a large circular portal. The two portals were unveiled on May 8th. One is near New York's Flatiron Building, the other on Dublin's O'Connell Street. The portal is expected to return later on this week. I saw a few of them too. They were funny. They were a really neat thing, but of course some people kind of used it to
I'm unsurprised.
do whatever.
I'm unsurprised. Well, Naval Academy students take part in an annual ritual to mark the end of their first year. The Herndon Monument Climb kicked off on Wednesday in Annapolis, Maryland, as cadets helped each other take on the challenge. The plebes are seen wiping off the monument slathered with vegetable oil as they try to scale the slippery structure. The Naval Academy says the goal is to climb the 21-foot monument to replace a white plebe Dixie Cup hat on top with an upperclassman's hat. And it was mission accomplished for the class of 2027, who did it in 2 hours, 19 minutes, and 11 seconds. And it looks kind of painful. Like they're just falling into the crowd of each other. But I could look at that. They're not halfway there yet. I would like to know, as far as this, wow.
There she goes.
There she goes.
What a mess,
That's
too,
like
huh?
I don't know. That's like an injury waiting to happen.
Covered with Crisco.
Right.
Yeah, so.
All right, cool tradition.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Now.
Do that with the Paul Bunyan statue downtown.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. bad idea.
Not me.
Idea.
You can.
Here's your forecast with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center. We offer a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 cash drawing. Stop by with your returnables and enter for a chance to win. Alrighty, here we go. Wayfind's very quiet out there this morning at around 1 to 2 feet according to the buoys. No advisories in effect along the coastline or on land for that matter either. Just seeing a little bit of dense fog developing near the Caribou area, possibly in Washington County again this morning. Very hit and miss with regards to the fog, so if you encountered some this morning, just make sure your low beam lights or your fog lights are turned on so people can see you. Otherwise, though, we have rain across the northern parts of the state this morning. No lightning with this. Lightning tracker is on, but we are seeing just a few rain showers this morning. Otherwise, near Bangor, it's looking rather dry. We will be staying dry today along and south of Bangor with most of the rain and even a few rumbles of thunder across the northern parts of the state. What's developing right about in here right now, not too far away from Boston or New York, will stay to the south, and if anything, start to fizzle out as the day progresses on. So Futurecast moving forward, showing a little bit of rain across the northern parts of the state today with a little bit more development taking place during the afternoon period. Coming up later on tonight, we will be under a partly cloudy sky, maybe areas of dense fog on the way as we head towards Friday morning. Then a small chance for a shower to develop during the afternoon period, especially across our northern counties yet again. The ones we head towards Friday night, that tapers off. Possibly some clouds or fog on the way again as we head towards early Saturday morning. I'm going to run this over the next few days, though, showing the potential for precipitation basically between now and Sunday evening. So not a whole lot of rain on the way, maybe up to 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of rain overall. And it looks to be about it there. Maybe a little bit of wind on the way in a few spots today, maybe a quick gust up to 10 to 15 miles per hour today, but otherwise the winds do not look to be a big deal at all today, tonight, or for tomorrow either, looking rather quiet at best. Maybe a quick gust up to 15 to 20 miles per hour late, and that looks to be about it for your Friday. Average high temperature is 66 degrees, low Lower 70s today, middle 70s for your Friday. We're back in the lower 70s Saturday and a Sunday, middle 70s Monday, and upper 70s. That'll feel warm Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. For today, here we go. A few thunderstorms across our northern counties, otherwise mostly cloudy with highs in the lower 70s with a light and variable wind. Coming up for tonight, partly cloudy, areas of dense fog, lows in the lower 50s with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a slight chance for a few rain showers, highs in the mid 70s with a southeast wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. All right, let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center. Mostly cloudy on Saturday with highs in the low 70s. Mostly cloudy again for a Sunday with highs also in the low 70s. Partly cloudy Monday with highs in the mid 70s.
Transform your surroundings with Paramount Paving, located in Bangor. They are your paving and seal coating experts. Whether it's residential maintenance to full commercial projects, Paramount Paving delivers quality that lasts. Book before June 1st and enjoy a $250 Visa gift card upon completion of your next paving project. Call us today at 602-8931 or visit us at ParamountPavingLLC.com. Paramount Paving, setting the standard for excellence. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Your best days of the year start here at Kubota Orange Days. It's the year's biggest selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA. Plus, get 0 down and 0% APR for 84 months or up to $2,800 off select BX tractors. Orange goes all day. Sales ending soon. Visit your local dealer today.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can start it with a splash. Hi. With a play date at a park. Or at a party with friends. Or at an epic water balloon fight. Gotcha!
You could get affordable 4.75% financing for 60 months on a fun-to-drive Corolla sedan, which could save you up to $1,300.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
When the Coach House Restaurant wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. The Coach House Restaurant, family dining at its best with fine home-cooked meals, delicious homemade desserts, and a large menu of tasty offerings for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Derek.
Meredith. So who wants to make history?
This Georgia high school senior has mastered the college application. 18-year-old Madison Crowell says she wanted to apply to as many schools as she could because she wants to show other kids in her low-income community that higher education is within reach. The Hinesville native got accepted to 231 schools, which offered almost $1 million in scholarships.
15.
What's it say?
Oh, you missed the 5. $15 million.
$15 million in scholarships. She's headed to High Point University in North Carolina on a full ride now.
Looks like we're about out of